look great.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying. All right. You ready to start?
Yeah, let's start.
All right. Welcome to the Artandhustle Gallery of Conversations. Welcome here, my friend, Cecilia Wong. And tell us a little about yourself. Since I know you, let's tell the people a little bit about you.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. What is there to tell? I mean, we've been friends for what?
A long time now.
Yeah, almost 20. Is it 20 years or over 20 years?
It's gotta be, I feel like it's gotta be over 23, 20, like, see, I've been in fashion for like 23 years. So it's
Yeah.
gotta be like 20 or something.
Yeah, because I remember meeting you after college, maybe a year or two after college. So it's about over, yes, it's over 20 years.
Mhm.
And we had a lot of good times. Right?
We had a lot of like party days, we'll tell the people.
Party days, yes.
Right? We met long ago during the days of like 20s when we were like 25-ish, I think, maybe, right?
Yes, I think it's
Where
about
we were bar hopping in the city, looking for boys and drinking.
a lot of drinking and partying.
Yeah.
And just seeing each other and, grow up to be, beautiful young ladies, like yourself.
Mhm.
And just kind of like seeing us go through a lot of transformation.
Yes, a lot
throughout
of
the years.
layers and changes and unpacking through the years. So it's
Yeah,
nice to bring people in, either from like childhood or certain periods of my life, and then we can tell stories of like what we did and like lessons we've learned. Because that's what I'm doing with the podcast now, is chatting with all
right,
types of people that have come across my life from either work or art or friends. I feel like everyone has a story, and every story will help, every story will heal. And through
right.
this podcasting and chatting and conversating, we can give out tips and tricks for people.
Exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. And I think what you've done is amazing. Seeing you go through, ups and downs,
Mhm.
many transformations, a lot of them positive
Mhm.
transformations. And it's just great to see that, um, you know, and I love the fact that you're doing what you love now, what you enjoy,
Mhm.
and you're working and you're not stressing out as much,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
that goes for the both of us. We have we worked in the past just to work, right?
Yeah,
Have a
yeah,
job. And now it's time for us to really enjoy doing what we love.
yeah. Because we both worked in corporate America, and
Right.
eventually you realize, like, you're kind of just a number, and the money that you're making for these companies, it's never enough. And how are
Exactly.
you fulfilling yourself at that point, right?
Right.
So how did you start your skincare business? Like, what gave you that aha moment of like, I need to go jump into this?
Right. So I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, even when I was young.
Mhm.
And I was inspired by my uncle who had his own business in Asia.
Mm.
And I remember when I was in high school, he introduced me to a book, and it's called it's by Stephen Covey. It's the seven most effective. I forgot the title.
I think it's like 7 most influential
Or
something.
effective, yeah, something,
Mhm.
right, something like that. And so he introduced me to that book, and I read it. And from then on, I knew exactly what I wanted to do, you
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
but not so much as to the type of industry I wanted to get into.
Mhm.
But I knew I wanted to own a business one day, just like my uncle. And a lot of it is really him that just inspired me.
And how
Um,
old were you when you read this book?
I was 17. I was
Mhm.
17. And I mean, it was not, I wouldn't say it was like a hard read, but obviously when you're 17, a lot of it, what you read, you don't really absorb right away, but you sort of understand the concept, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And so then when I went to college, I actually majored in entrepreneurial management.
At
And
NYU, right?
so I went to NYU for 2 years, and then I
Mhm.
transferred out because financially I couldn't afford it anymore.
Mhm.
So I transferred out to Baruch. and I finished my years there.
Mhm.
And I majored in entrepreneur management and then minored in computer information systems.
Mhm.
And I remember I had to do a thesis for my graduating class, right? And I actually did a business plan on a spa.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah.
So at that point, I sort of knew, okay, I wanted to own a spa one day, right? I wanted to run the business. I wanted to hire people. And so I did a whole business plan.
Mhm.
And that actually came in pretty handy
Mhm.
years later. But
Mhm.
of course, years later, things change and
Yeah.
you have to tweak and, change everything around.
Yeah, life gets in the way.
Life gets in the way.
Yeah.
And, after I graduated college, obviously, at that time, I wasn't able to start a business right away
Mhm.
financially.
Mhm.
And I wanted to just sort of gain some experience in the corporate world.
Mhm.
And my family's in the garment business, and they wanted me to get into the fashion industry.
Mhm.
So I started my first job out of college. I worked for Bachelor Mishka.
Mhm.
I was in sales,
Mhm.
and then I basically stayed in that industry for about, I would say maybe like 8 to 9 years, but going through different companies and
Yeah.
going through different titles and different functions
Mhm.
and responsibilities. So, and then after that, I remember thinking to myself, I was so stressed out. I wasn't really too happy, to what I was doing.
Mhm.
And the fashion industry is really cutthroat. It's
Very. Yeah.
like
It's
it's
very.
extremely cutthroat.
Mhm.
And I was like, why am I stressing myself
And
out?
it's always stress and they always behind on deadlines. You're always late. There's always like something that's like tugging at you.
Right, exactly. And you get yelled at for no apparent reason, right?
Mhm.
So I said, you know what? I decided to quit my job.
Mhm.
I actually went to Asia for about almost a year. And then when I came back, that's when I started to go back to schooling for the beauty industry, getting
Mhm.
my license.
Mhm.
And after I got my license, I worked for somebody
Mhm.
for about a year.
Mhm.
And then after that, I just opened my own business in
Mhm.
2009.
2009. Wow. So how many
2009,
years is
yeah.
that now?
So it's almost 13.
Oh my God, it's been that
I
long.
know, I know, right?
Wow. It's
Yeah.
been a
I
long
mean, like
time.
I can't believe it myself. But
Wow.
obviously when you start your own business, it wasn't really according to the business plan that I created back in college, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Hiring people, having employees,
It was
and
probably like a one-woman show at that point, right?
exactly. It
Yeah.
was completely different.
Yeah.
I realized that I had to
Do
be
everything.
hands-on. Yeah, I was the garbage lady.
Yeah.
I did everything,
Mhm.
myself.
Yeah.
And that's what happened like the first year, and I didn't have investors. I didn't borrow money from a bank or anything like that.
Mhm.
I bootstrapped everything
Yeah.
and basically charged everything on my credit card. But I knew that, but in 6 months,
Mm.
I paid everything off.
Wow. Wow.
I
So
paid everything off.
how much did you need to start the business?
For the business itself, with the equipment,
Mhm.
rent, and all the beauty supplies, basically about $15,000.
15,000 to start. Yeah. And so from everything that you learned from the beginning, do you have like maybe like 3 to 5 tips that you learned that when you went through all of this and starting it?
Everything is about the right timing.
Mm.
Because I remember when I first started my business, I went to find a location, right? I went to look for a place
Mhm.
and I signed the contract. Everything was done, right? And I was ready to open at a certain time.
Mhm.
Last minute, they told me they couldn't open, the space for me.
Mhm.
So I basically didn't have a space. I
Mm.
was opening in 3 weeks. I already had clients lined up, scheduling
Wow.
their appointments.
Yeah.
I got all my equipment, my supplies, like where am I shipping these, equipments to, right?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
I didn't have a place. So I would suggest that like things do change.
Mhm.
You have to be flexible. You have to know exactly that there always has to be option B,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? There always has to be a backup plan.
Mhm.
And you just go with the flow,
Mhm. Mhm.
getting frustrated is not going to help,
Mhm.
being worried is not going to help.
Mhm.
And you just got to do what you got to do.
Mhm.
And within a week, I literally, looked at, just looked online. I found another place right away, which was,
Mhm. The
like I
place
thought,
on Fifth Avenue?
yes, on Fifth Avenue. Yes,
Mhm.
it was
Mhm.
Fifth Avenue, and it was temporary, but at
Mhm.
the same time, at least I had a space,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, the thing is, things don't always go according to your plan.
Yeah.
Things do change.
Mhm.
You just have to learn to adapt that change. You have to learn to know what to do, like have options and have backups.
Yeah.
So that's one of the, one of the biggest tips. And another thing would be everything will come together when it's the right time. You
Mhm.
can't force it,
Mhm.
right? Everything has to be natural. When you force something, it's sometimes I feel like when you force something, you get frustrated, right?
Mhm.
And then you could make a bad decision.
Mhm.
So yeah, just everything has its own time.
Yeah.
Be patient.
Mhm.
And I'm the least patient person. And
So am I. That's one thing that I'm trying to learn on is patience.
yeah, I'm the least patient person, but just going, just being a business owner for, for 13 years, and it really teaches you how to just be calm, be patient, don't rush into anything,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? Again, because you might end up with making a really bad decision at the end.
Okay. And how long did you end up staying in this location?
At this location, I was there for about, I believe it was like 3 years. Yeah,
Okay,
about
so it
3 years.
worked out. The plan B worked out.
Right, right. It worked out for 3 years, but then the landlord of the building didn't. He wanted to change the whole entire building into more corporate.
Oh.
So he was like, "Okay, you have." And I got the notice actually beginning of December
Mhm.
before Christmas, and he wanted me out actually before Christmas.
So probably like in like 2 or 3 weeks, get out.
So again, I only had a very short amount of time
Mhm.
to look for a new place,
Mhm.
to just kind of move everything out, right?
Yeah, so you had to go with the flow.
Again, so and I mean, fortunately, I did find a place. So sometimes I feel like things happen for a reason,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
Um, and then I found another place also on Fifth Avenue, which I stayed for almost about like 8 years. For about
Oh,
8 years.
wow. Okay.
That was on 27th and 5th.
Mhm.
And and then after that, I sort of the pandemic happened.
Yeah,
Uh,
like how did that affect your business and what did you do to keep the business going through the pandemic?
so luckily, a lot of my clients are, um, they've known me for years since the beginning of my business, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So they are extremely loyal. They stayed with me,
Mhm.
and even though the in the beginning of the pandemic, they were still coming to see me.
Mhm.
And then I guess when the pandemic like really, really hit,
Mhm.
I closed down for about 6 months,
Okay.
right? But I still had my online business,
Mhm.
which really helped tremendously, right? I was still sending out products to clients,
Mhm.
people were still buying online.
Mhm.
So that really helped to supplement, you know, just the rent
Yeah.
and other overhead that I had.
Yeah.
And I didn't really go back to work full time until it was about a year, like a year ago, I would say,
Mhm.
a year.
And
And
did you
all my
change
clients,
locations or
I had to change locations.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
that place just kind of closed down.
Mhm.
And now I'm at a place on Fifth Avenue again on
Mhm,
and 34th Street,
mhm.
which is perfect location. The rent is great. The building is great. It's like in the middle of, all the transportations.
Yeah. Is this
And
right across from the Empire State Building?
yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, right across the street. Yes.
Mhm,
And everything just seems to be working
mhm.
accordingly.
Yeah, yeah.
You
And
know?
how many people have you employed? Like, how many people are in your company?
Well, before the pandemic, right, I had another person, another facialist,
Mhm.
and then I had a social media person. I had an assistant, so about like three.
Yeah.
But now it's just all by myself.
Now it's just you?
It's just by myself.
So it's kind of like going back to like day one now. It's just you.
It is like going back to day one, but for some reason, I'm not as stressed
Hmm.
as
Mhm.
I do, like as I was, right?
Really?
I'm not as stressed. Maybe because I've been doing this for so long.
Yeah, yeah.
I already have that routine. I know exactly what I need to do on a daily basis, right?
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, and I'm not stressing myself out.
Yeah,
I'm not back full time,
yeah.
but 2, 3 days a week, I that's more than
So
enough
two,
for me.
3 days, you just tell the people, listen, these are the days that I'm open.
Right.
Make your appointments here, and then you go into the city.
Right, right. And I feel that I'm really fortunate because the clients I cater to, it's not like a 9 to 5 where they go
Mhm,
to work, and they can only see me on weekends.
mhm.
But so they accommodate to my schedule as well.
That's amazing. I mean, that's astonishing from going from the dream and then just jumping right in of like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to follow my passions in skincare. And did you have a lot of like testing products and like did you do a lot of testing yourself as you were learning the business in the beginning?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I created my skincare line, it actually took a while for
Mm,
me to actually have the products ready.
yeah.
And testing the formulas literally hundreds of times,
Mhm,
and then looking for a chemist or formulator
mhm.
that can actually make the products for me
Yeah.
and understand exactly what I needed and what I wanted from my clients.
Mm,
And finding that person was really tough, but I'm still with her today.
yeah.
So we've been partners for almost 13 years as well.
And how did you find them? Like, did you go online, Googling people or connections or?
Yeah, so I knew exactly the type of formulator that I wanted. I wanted somebody who does organic
Mm,
products, who understands more the natural, using essential oils.
mhm,
And I mean, I went through different or like many, many sites online
mhm.
looking for that person.
Oh,
And
wow.
it actually took a year to find her.
Mhm,
um, because my products are not made in a lab. Everything is handcrafted, small batches. Uh,
mhm.
so my formulator, she has her own farm. She grows her own herbs. So it's extremely, it's very organic. It's very
Yeah,
natural.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it took a year to find her.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, and I was like, you know what? I'm keeping her because she obviously she's doing a great job, right?
Yeah, yeah. And did you have any like skin problems or issues that made you go into skincare?
Absolutely. Growing up, I had lots of acne.
Mhm.
You might not know it now, but
I didn't see it then.
I had acne, extremely oily skin. I mean, it was really bad skin. I never used makeup, but it was, I guess, because, just growing up, puberty and, hormones and all of that.
Mhm.
Um, and I remember getting facials when I was 16 years old. And oh my gosh, it was the worst experience ever.
Really?
Worse. It was painful,
Mm.
and my face was like red, like tomato
Afterwards.
red, inflamed. Yeah, afterwards, like
Yeah.
inflamed, red. It was painful, like and like all these like pimples. It was just horrible.
Mhm,
And for a 16-year-old to have skin like that,
mhm.
I had no self-confidence. I had really low self-esteem, and I had to cover my hair, use my hair to cover my face all the time.
Oh, wow.
because I wasn't allowed to use makeup, right? Really. So I
Yeah.
couldn't use any
Couldn't
makeup.
cover it up. Yeah.
Right. So because of that, I actually found, natural remedies
Mm-hmm.
on my own. And at the same time, growing up in the Chinese culture, my
Hmm.
mom made me a lot of, herbal soups all the time.
Yeah.
And she made me eat a lot of fruit and vegetables, like I,
Mm.
I wasn't allowed to really eat any snacks like cookies and chips, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So just from that, and then, with, from her telling me, if you want to have good skin, you need to
Mhm.
eat this and this and this.
Yeah.
So from that, it sort of made me really think, you
Hmm.
know what, if I'm, suffering from acne, if I'm suffering from this skin problem, I know there's other kids out there who are,
Yeah.
or, other people out there who are suffering the same issue as me.
And then it becomes part of your mission and purpose of your business then to help
Right, right.
others.
Right. So that became my purpose, my mission. I wanted to help and serve others.
Yeah.
Um, and and then that's how this whole thing kind of really, just evolved to what I'm doing today.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing. I'm super proud of you. I mean, like 13 years, right? That's
Mm.
phenomenal. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's tough. It's absolutely, it's really tough.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just want to give up.
Hmm.
Sometimes you ask yourself, am I good enough? Like, what am I doing here? Like,
Yeah.
am I good enough?
What were,
Right.
what were some obstacles that were really hard for you, either starting or during your business?
I think one of the things was partly it's my ethnicity, right?
Mhm.
I don't, when I started, even now, I don't really see a lot of Asian women being in this industry,
Mhm.
being a facialist.
Yeah.
And
Or owning the business, it's usually not them owning
right,
it. They just work
right,
there
right,
doing. Mhm.
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. And so that was really tough, for it was sort of it was difficult for people to trust me.
Yeah.
And it I had to really find a way,
Mhm.
and it wasn't really through me, selling things to them, selling products to them, because me, I don't talk much,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I really can't sell you anything, right?
Mhm.
So what I had to do was it's really myself,
Yeah.
who I am, what I
Yeah.
look
Your
like,
brand. Yeah.
my skin. I'm the brand.
Mhm.
So if my skin looks like this, I think that's the first thing that they see.
Mhm.
And a lot of times my clients do tell me that, you don't really talk much, you don't say anything, you don't sell your products, you don't sell your services, but it's really your skin. I look at your skin the first time I see you. That's what
Mm.
my clients tell me all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what, that's what makes them trust me.
Yeah.
So yeah, being an Asian woman in
Mhm.
business, it was tough.
Did you have like problems with like vendors taking advantage of you or anything like that, or just other issues of race?
Vendors, not so much, but
Mhm.
it was more, I have to say, certain clients that I had, or
Oh,
the, first-time clients, they would,
mhm.
certain clients would take advantage, right?
Male or female?
Both,
Both. Oh.
both, yeah.
Mm.
And, at the same time, like in the beginning, when I first started my business, I didn't really know much. I was learning, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, even today, I'm still learning as I go.
Mhm.
And you kind of learn to read and to know what kind of person that you're dealing with
Yeah.
after seeing so many
Yeah.
different types of personalities
Yeah.
coming, through the door.
Mhm.
And so you sort of know. And for clients to take advantage,
Mhm.
in the beginning, I took it very personally,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, okay, whatever,
Like what do they do? Like what are some examples of that they did to take advantage?
So I remember this one customer, or this one client.
Mhm.
He
We love
actually
stories on this podcast.
he actually came in, got a facial,
Mhm.
And then when it came down to paying, he said he left his wallet at home.
No.
Yeah. And at that time, I honestly, I didn't have experience with that. So I didn't really know like what to do or what to
Yeah.
say. And I was a bit, I was a bit nervous because
Yeah.
first of all, he was a guy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And he kept giving me excuses like, oh, I think I left it in a cab, or I think I left it at home, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? At that moment, I was just like, you know what? It's fine, and I knew in my heart he just did not want to pay.
Really?
Yeah.
And so he never came back and
He never
paid?
came back. He, yeah, just like he was just
Just
gone,
disappeared.
disappeared. Yeah.
Why do you do that? I can't believe
Right.
that.
I don't know. I, I think after that incident, I learned a great lesson,
Mhm.
So what I did was, when you book an appointment with me, you leave a credit card number with me.
Okay.
I'm not going to charge anything, but I need your credit card, right?
Mhm, mhm.
And if you're a new customer, especially a guy or someone, that I don't know, like first time meeting, sometimes I have them leave me their driver license too, just
Mm.
in case,
Yeah.
because I'm running the show by myself.
Yeah,
I
you're there, you're there alone by yourself doing the
right,
facials and stuff.
right, exactly. So I don't know what's going to happen, right? I
Mhm.
mean, obviously, I welcome you into my space because I trust you. You're a client, right? There
Yeah.
has to be that mutual
Mm.
trust.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I've learned my lesson, and then just going, years after that, like nothing like that ever happened again.
Okay.
Yeah. And now things seems to be working out great with
Yeah.
clients, and
Mhm.
I mean, my clients are great.
Yeah. And
So
I mean, these are crazy stories. You have a story from a female that took advantage?
female, female, not so much,
Mm.
but I actually did get yelled at before many
Oh.
times.
Uh-oh. Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. I got yelled at. And I remember one client, I was running a little bit behind, maybe like 5-10 minutes.
Mhm.
And sometimes, again, like nothing goes according to plan, right? You might
Mhm.
be running late, or even your previous clients are running late, and you
Yes,
can't
which
control
happens
them.
all the time.
It
Yeah.
happens all the time, right? And then this other client, she's just waiting in the lobby, and I was running 10 minutes behind, and I told her in advance, I'm so sorry, I'm running 10 minutes behind, I hope like you're
That's
okay.
okay. Yeah.
So, and I kind of knew she was a bit annoyed, irritated, and then she just started yelling at me, like right there,
Yeah.
you know. And I just stayed calm, I didn't really respond to her yelling.
Mhm.
Instead, I just said, I apologize. I will do whatever, I need
Mhm.
to alleviate the situation.
Yeah.
And I think because I was calm, I didn't react to her reaction.
Yeah.
And I was actually more kind to her.
Yeah.
After 10 minutes, she came into the room. She apologized to me.
Oh, okay, good.
So, and I said, it's okay.
Mhm.
It's okay. I know maybe you're having a bad day
Mhm.
or something, right?
Something happened or whatever.
Right. So I'm a very understanding person.
Mhm.
You yell at me, I'm not gonna yell back at you.
Yeah.
It's, it is what it is. But
Yeah.
then from then on, she actually became a really good client of mine.
Oh,
So,
okay, good, good.
but I mean, getting yelled at, that was actually the first time I got yelled at too. So
Yeah.
it was like, I didn't really know I was like really scared inside,
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh my
yeah.
goodness.
Wait, getting yelled at in general by anybody or just a customer?
No, just a
A
customer.
customer, okay.
Yeah, she was the first customer that yelled at me.
Oh, okay. Well,
But obviously, having your own business, you
mhm.
will have, an, clients who are not satisfied with you, or they just don't, you know, they feel irritated by you or something, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're always going to be something.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, the way I think is, you know what? It's not me. It's that person.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I don't take things personally like I used to anymore.
Yeah. Well, that, I mean, that helps for like everything in life too. That's great advice, right?
Yes.
Relationships, everybody.
Oh yeah, of course, of course.
Right. Right.
Don't take things personally. It's not you. It's them.
Hmm.
Right? They're having a bad day, so they're taking it out on you.
Yeah. Yep.
So what you need to do is, kill it with kindness.
Hmm.
Be positive. Feed them off your positive energy.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah. Like, how can you be mad when the other person's like, I'm sorry, it's my fault. Totally. Like, what can I do? And then
Yeah.
if the person's mad, you're like, oh, okay, well, all right. Because you're not feeding the flame. So,
Right. Right.
right.
Exactly.
Do you
Exactly.
have any regrets or anything about your business that, as through the years?
Regrets? I don't really have any regrets, honestly. And even in life, I don't really have regrets because you can't go on or move forward with your life with regrets, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, but there are things that I feel that I could have improved on
Hmm.
or worked on it better.
Yeah.
And one of them is especially asking for help.
Mm.
I think a lot of times small business owners, they don't know how to ask for help, and you get burned out. Because you run the show by yourself, you're doing everything by yourself.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, you will get burned out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember
Totally.
after a few years starting the business, I did get burned out. I did feel like I wanted to give up.
Mm.
And when you get to that point in
Hmm.
your life with your business, feeling stressed out, frustrated with everything, you basically hate the whole entire world.
Yeah, because you've given all of yourself and then you forgot to fill your own cup and make
Right,
sure you take time for yourself to nourish yourself, mind, body, and soul.
right. And that's exactly it. I did not nourish myself. I did not rejuvenate myself. I was always serving others, always helping others, right?
Mhm, mhm.
But I just forgot about myself.
Yeah.
And I was working 7 days a week from 10 to 8 at night. And at the end, I got so burned out to a point where I just resented everybody. I resented all
Oh,
my clients.
oh wow.
I didn't even want, at that point, I didn't even want to book or schedule another client.
Really? At what year do you think around that did that happen?
That was actually, I think it was 3 years after I started the business
Oh.
when I moved to my second location.
Mhm,
So when that happened, I remembered I actually took a few days off, and I
mhm,
said, because what, this is what I love to do. This is my passion.
mhm.
I can't be feeling like this towards other people, especially my
Yeah,
clients.
because they'll feel your energy as you're trying to
Oh,
give them a facial,
right. I
right?
mean, not only that, but because it is your passion,
Mhm.
you don't want to end up hating your passion and then have to move
Yeah,
on to
yeah,
something else,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So I took a few days off and I just sort of did nothing. All I did was, just think about why I'm getting so burned out, right?
Yeah. Mhm,
And at that time, I was listening to a lot of Tony Robbins,
mhm,
videos and reading his books. And after after a few days, I just kind of calm myself down
mhm,
and I say, you know what? Let's push the reset button,
mhm.
start over, but this
Yeah.
time be smart about it.
Mhm.
And I wasn't working 7 days anymore. I changed my whole entire schedule.
Okay.
I changed how many clients, that I can take per day.
Yeah.
And I left time out for myself.
Yeah. And that's what
So,
we that's what a lot of people forget to do is to carve out that time for themselves
right,
in business, especially with a small business owner, because you have a so much weight on you to push this and succeed because it's all
exactly.
on you, and that goes for like relationships as well to like make sure you carve out time for yourself and give back to yourself.
You have to. Your mental state of mind is so important. If
Mhm.
if mentally you're not there,
Yeah.
it's not going to be whole. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it just doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Are you working on anything exciting now?
Right now, I have to say, so I started carry, I'm actually carrying a new line of skincare
Mhm.
that I found, which I fell in love with.
Mm.
Um, I mean, I try to find and research different skincare lines, for my clients. And I found this beautiful line made by another Asian woman.
Mm. Mhm.
And she's a little bit older. She's been around for a long time. She's a formulator. She's a chemist, and I'm just excited to introduce this line to everyone.
Oh,
To my,
that's awesome. What's the name of it?
it's called Lemieux.
Mhm.
I think it's Mieux. It's French,
Mhm.
and like their products are actually cruelty free and vegan,
Mhm.
all plant based, which is
Mhm.
great. Which is great.
That's great. So do you sell it through your website, or is it a separate website altogether?
So right now it's selling it at my boutique in the city.
Okay.
Not on the website just yet,
Okay.
but hopefully soon. Hopefully
Okay.
soon.
That's awesome. Um, let's see. Maybe we can throw in some random, questions from Oprah or Ellen that I have here in my index cards.
You wrote down some questions.
I have like index cards of questions that I collect from like, all these like fun talk show hosts. And
Great.
randomly, like towards the end of it, I'll just start asking them, like I randomly pick some. Like
Yeah.
one of the Oprah questions I love to ask is, what do you think the purpose of life is?
Wow, that's really profound.
And that's usually at the end. I'm like, so let me just ask you this profound question at the end of it. Like
Really.
5 profound questions.
And it's so funny, you know why? Because I'm always searching for the answer for that question.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for me, the purpose of life has always been just to be kind to people, be a
Mm-hmm.
compassionate person,
Mm-hmm.
right? Be compassionate to other humans, to other living things, animals. I'm a big animal activist, and being compassionate to animals, that's where it all begins. You're,
Mm-hmm.
you're good, you're kind to animals, you're good and kind to children and
Mm-hmm.
to other human beings.
Yeah.
So my purpose of life is to perhaps help others
Mm-hmm.
to understand, and to help others, to guide them into that kindness, to the compassion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
Another profound question that we can add to this is what do you think is the best quality of a partner or a friend that you look for?
Again, um, I'm always searching for someone who's kind, someone
Mm-hmm.
who's compassionate,
Mm-hmm.
someone who cares about other people,
Yeah.
um, and especially treating others like the way you want to be treated.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really important to me.
That's great. What there's another game that my friend did. Okay, one word answers. Okay, I'm gonna give you one word answers for the age groups.
Why is it
Uh,
so tough?
this was not as bad. One word answer. Okay. How would you describe your childhood? One word.
Wow, hard.
Okay, your teenage years.
Oh my gosh. I have to
Even
say
harder.
sad.
Even
I have,
harder.
no, I have to say sad.
Sad. Okay. 20s.
Exciting.
Mm. 30s.
Exhilarating.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. 40s.
Blessed.
And I can't say 50s yet.
I hope
I
not.
know, like because I had 50s on my nose. I'm like, well, I can't
Oh my
have
gosh,
this.
not for another, what, a few years?
Another, I mean, we're getting up there,
I know, I know.
getting up
I
there.
feel like time just goes by so fast.
Well, at least we're aging nicely, right? I feel
Oh
like we're getting
yeah.
younger. I'm getting blonder and younger.
You are definitely getting blonder. And honestly, I have to tell you, like, we don't look um like our age, right?
Yeah, thank God.
I think in here and physically and you know in here too. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel
One of the main things I think I got younger is starting to make more space for myself, like we said, where
right.
I had to stop ignoring myself and my needs, and because then you just completely depleted. And when you're completely depleted mind, body, and soul, you really look it as well. And then your
Oh,
health takes it.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mhm.
You know, the most important thing that you can do every day is laugh.
Yes.
Laughing is the best anti-aging remedy. Okay.
Well, there's a tip right there, right?
And honestly, like like because I've known you for so long,
Yeah.
I've seen different transformations.
Yeah. Huge.
Yeah. And today, just looking at you, you look like, you just look relieved. You look happy.
Mm. Hmm.
You
Yeah,
know,
because you've seen all my stages of
right.
my evolution of me as from a young woman to, um, I don't want to say it, but a more mature woman now.
Mhm. Yeah, you are mature,
Yeah.
and you're mature in many ways, good ways.
Hmm.
And, your skin is glowing. You
Oh,
can
I
see
think it's
it
the
from
lighting.
no, but even
Oh,
in
okay.
person, I see your skin is glowing.
I'm like, I think it's the lighting. I figured out how to do the filters in Zoom, and then I have this giant light in front of me that even if I don't do my makeup, my skin looks beautiful.
No, but the thing is, because it is a lot of lighting, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And because you're on camera,
Yeah.
you actually do see more flaws. Even, I mean,
Yeah.
like even now, like I see that like glow, that you have in the skin, which is
Mm,
really,
thank you.
really, really nice,
Thank you. Thank you. I know you've seen all of it through it. And
Yeah.
me as a person is what I'm trying to find more peace and
Right.
acceptance really for myself and everything I've been through. And to, like one of the main things that I'm coming to terms with is that I used to not trust men. And I
Hmm.
didn't trust, I didn't know if someone's going to take advantage of me or this and that. And then eventually I was like, I just have to get to a point where I need to learn to trust myself and
Right.
trust my decisions and trust my boundaries and set more boundaries is what I'm learning more, as I get older, because I don't think I learned those boundaries as a child, or those boundaries were always crossed as a child.
Right.
So I never knew safety. I never knew boundaries. I didn't know trust. So I'm learning all of these things like at age 40. So like it's a whole new like path for me too.
Yeah, and I really can't wait to see, what more that you can offer because I mean, you have so much potential,
Yeah,
so much.
yeah. I know. I'm in like a transformative phase right now where I really hope I can get to that level, because once I was let go of my job, that was like a whole shit show mentally for me, because like you're chasing that corporate ladder for so long,
Right.
and then you realize that is not what I want and that's not what's going to make me happy.
Mhm.
So now I'm trying to just be more of my own entrepreneur, but also figure out what money, how can I make money but doing something I love.
Right.
It gives me peace and gives me purpose and gives me happiness too. And one of them really is these podcasts that I talk with people, because I enjoy talking to people and having that connection, but also finding out like how they got into their careers, like talking with you and how you started your business and how you did your hustle and the trials you went through, the struggles you went through, and how you overcame it. So I love that story and journey I hear from everybody. And I feel like end of the day, your story will put it out there and it will help somebody else who wants to start their own business and start a skincare line and let them see like a strong Asian woman on camera.
Yeah. I mean, I really hope, that's one of, my goals, definitely, to to help and be able to guide other Asian women or
Mhm.
just, women,
Yeah,
know. And honestly, I really believe that anyone can be an entrepreneur.
yeah,
Anyone
yeah.
can.
And
You
then
just
one of
have,
yeah, and one of the main tips that I've been researching now is that whatever videos you put up and whatever you're teaching, because you like to serve and teach people how to have better skin, how to eat better, in like mind, body, and soul, definitely start making videos also and put them on YouTube, because YouTube was also paying out people who were doing shorts, and YouTube and Google are linked together. So anything on the web is connected to either a blog that has like affiliate links or a YouTube that's going to push it. And once you get to a certain amount of money on certain amount of viewers and watch hours on YouTube, then you can monetize on it. So that's my current passion, is that and my Airbnb.
yeah. No, I think that's good advice. It's just so, I don't know why it's just so hard for me to sit in front of the camera and just talk.
No, it's really hard. It's real. This is why it's actually easy to talk with somebody else,
Right, right.
because I mean, naturally me, I don't know if you know, but I'm a quiet person. I don't like to talk.
Yes, you
Yeah,
are.
like
Yeah.
I'm super quiet. Even if we were going out, I don't think you'll see me talking to everybody.
Yeah. Right,
Right?
right. I think
You'll
me
be,
and you both, we don't.
yeah, I think you will be sitting there just looking at everybody.
Having that bitch face, right?
Yeah, the resting bitch face is like, we'll have the resting bitch face. We're sitting on a corner. So to let everybody know, like, this is not a natural thing for me or you to be comfortable on camera. And
Right.
I had to force myself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I was literally sweating. I needed a cocktail for my first shitload of like podcasts. I had a glass of wine. And I was like, whatever I can do to get through these. And my first couple was in my bedroom. So that's my advice to people, is just to start. It's hard to like just start whatever it
Right.
is you're thinking of, because you're always going to criticize it and think that it's not good enough,
Exactly. Yeah.
and it's
Especially
just start it.
now, I mean, you could be like the next Oprah,
I'm
you know.
trying. I
You
mean,
have-
because, Oprah's gone, Ellen's gone. So, hey, now you got Linda Chung. Who would have thought, resting bitch face, not talking to anybody. Now I love doing these podcasts with people, because it's fun to get to know everybody and hear their stories. And then you learn new things that you didn't know from
Right.
these people. So,
I mean, I want to talk in front of the camera. I want to do videos, right? And that's
mm,
why I started to do like TikTok and,
yeah, yeah,
but like you said, it's really difficult to talk in front of the camera, like to
yeah,
yourself. Right? It's
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of
No, so that's what I mean. Like, I think I've seen a lot. I've done so much research during the pandemic of like YouTube and all of this. And
Mhm.
I've seen a lot of people who can just talk into the camera. And I think
Right.
one day I was just randomly like testing it out, trying to talk. But like, you end up saying like, well, so let's think, what are the stories?
Exactly. Yes.
You just start looking around. You're like, so it's really hard to just stare into the camera and then start talking. And
Right.
I haven't mastered that either yet. I've more gotten comfortable jumping on and talking to somebody. But it's also energy. Like, it's also like what kind of energy you have with that person to keep the conversation going. Because
Mhm.
once you have a lull, it's also weird. But at least I can edit it and it's not live, you know?
Right. But I think we should definitely do something to create a podcast together where we can, it's sort of like a fireside chat or something like that.
Hmm.
And we talk about, anything and everything,
Yeah.
skincare, mental health,
Yeah.
your physical health, things that we've been through, giving advice to the younger generation. I
Yeah.
mean, I think that would be,
Yeah, I think we should do something where we can do it together, because it's always like, at these podcasts, it's always better where you can feed off of someone's energy and chat with them and laugh with them. And like, just like when we get together, like the fun thing to do is like have some wine and food and chat, and then you just are more casual to like talk and give out
exactly.
advice to people. And
Yeah.
that's that's what people love to hear, is like the conversations also of like, you know,
Right.
just two girls chatting and what kind of advice like they can give. And, you know, I
Yeah.
think that would be fun. We should definitely do that.
Okay, absolutely. And
Two resting bitch
nothing.
faces conversations.
And we can have, a glass of wine, have or more.
Yeah. So
you know.
have you started doing YouTube or just TikTok?
So I do TikTok, right? But then I can actually upload my video to YouTube.
Okay.
So I did YouTube over 10 years ago, like when I first started the
Hmm.
business.
Hmm.
But it wasn't, obviously, like now I look back at those videos, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is
Yeah.
just horrible.
Yeah.
I
But
do
hey, you
want to,
started it, you know, at least you started it.
yeah, I do want to continue. I really do. But
I
like I
think you
said,
should. Yeah.
but I don't necessarily want to do it by myself.
No,
I,
it's not
I
fun. No.
don't, right. So I think having someone
I'll be your
there,
sidekick. I'll be your sidekick. Let's do it.
and we can just talk, about
Mhm,
anything,
mhm.
like a girl talk,
And
and
the other fun thing that I've researched also is testing products, even
yeah,
testing makeup,
yes,
testing products,
yes,
and then we just do it together, and then we just talk about, do we like it, do we not like it? You know, it's like reviews of products, or just using something and testing out what we thought of it. Just random things that people, you know, need to hear reviews of, like, is this makeup better than this makeup? Is this mask
right,
better than this mask?
right.
Reviews are really, really popular as
Yeah,
well.
it's so funny you mentioned that because so I get a lot of products sent to me to test and to try out. And recently I've been doing a lot of makeup,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
Just testing out makeup, especially drugstore makeup.
mhm.
And I find that I mean it's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
One, testing them, using them on yourself and
Mhm,
comparing them. But it's, I'm because of who I serve, who my
mhm,
clients are, a lot of times I have to introduce to them more of a luxury brand,
mhm.
type of products.
Yeah.
But after trying these, drugstore products, I'm like in love. I'm like, damn,
You
you get
know,
this for
it'd be
$8?
funny if you did like a blind, like, you know, makeup thing where you're like, okay, there's a product A and product B. One is like $300 and one
Right.
is $3. And and then you do like the makeup looks or the skincare looks, and then you like, and then we try to guess like which one, and then you do like a poll and have people guess like which
I
one
think
looks
that's
more
a great
expensive.
idea. I
I
think,
have so many ideas. Like
well, we have to execute these ideas, okay? So we
I
have to really
well,
start something.
yes, we do, we do. And since I'm getting used to being on camera and doing these, I'm actually better on Zoom for some reason. Like I'm not. I think I look better on Zoom anyway. I don't look as good.
I
Like
think you look better either way.
you know, like you're just more like I'm just more critical of myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if we do it together, we can do that. We can even try them out like separate and do Zooms and do like little, you know, wine and reviews. Oh, that's cute. Wine and reviews. Look at that.
Oh, I like that. I should, yes, save that. I think that's a good name.
Let's write that
Write
down.
that down. Yes.
I felt like I just had a deja vu where I had this a random conversation like this with somebody else. Let me find one of my post-its. Wine
Now,
and review.
wine and review. Now, are you able to put makeup on at the same time talking in front of the camera?
Yeah,
'Cause that's hard.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's hard.
I don't know. I don't know if well, yeah, I guess that would be hard, but no, if I had like a small mirror, I guess I could do it. Like if I
Oh
was
yeah.
like if I was looking at a mirror and doing it, I can probably do it.
Right, right.
Because I did this makeup thing with the artist that I was working with on Sundays and did photo shoots and makeup person. So we
Mhm.
did it together, but like our camera setup wasn't fully right, so it wasn't as like you couldn't really see the makeup as much. So I feel like if we were doing Zooms, you know, we can
Okay.
we can do it all kinds of ways. We can test it together. We can test it like on Zooms. But
Yeah, yeah.
I'm ready because I need more content. I'm all about content and getting to 1,000 subscribers. So my
Okay.
subscribing, here's my tip that I can also tell you also with YouTube is that shorts get you more subscribers
Okay.
than long content.
So shorts meaning what, like 3 minutes or under 3 minutes?
Um, from 15 seconds to a minute.
Oh wow. Okay.
So my analytics of YouTube has showed that people watch my videos average of 17 seconds.
Wow. Okay.
17 seconds.
Yeah. So you can't really say like, you know, you can't be doing that, right? It has
Yeah,
to be
so
like,
17 seconds is what people, because that YouTube is trying to be like TikTok and Instagram and the Reels. So they're competing with them. So now they're taking away viewers from TikTok, and that's why I'm getting more viewership on my shorts now, because I'm taking away those viewers. And so
mhm.
I've been testing out like videos of like what people are watching. And you know what? It's so random what people like. So here's the other thing we should do too, is just eat and drink, because people love food. The shorts that I put, people love my ramen noodle video.
Wait, so you're just eating
It's,
and people just
no,
watching
I'm
you?
not even eating it. I just showed a bowl of ramen noodle. Literally showed a bowl of ramen noodles, and I got 4,100 views.
Shut up. Are you
Yes.
serious?
And my other big video that I put up, I want to say it was me cleaning an Airbnb, showing them that you put air freshener into a garbage pail to make it smell fresh. And I want to say that got 7,000 reviews, 7,000 views. Yeah. And like I didn't have
People
makeup
not know
on.
that?
Huh?
But do people not know you can just put an air freshener in the garbage can?
But see, I learned that through like a random TikTok video. So I was like, oh, let me do a random video of this that I saw that I thought was interesting. And
Oh, wow.
so it's just really, really random. So like, you know, even though I love doing these podcasts, I still have to feed into what, you know, people also short ones too.
Right, right.
And so like I put random ones, like that one got a lot of view. Another one that got a lot of reviews was I was with my mentor in Long Island, and his wife showed me a photo of his mom and
Uh-huh.
him when he was a kid. And that got like 4,000 views.
Wow.
And all we did was show the camera the photo and said, wow, she's fully put together. And that was it. That was it. That was it.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. So even though my passion is this, I still have to supplement it
Of
with
course.
the
Yes.
short stuff. But yeah, I'm totally down. I want to do it because I'm loving these YouTube things, and I'm trying to do as much content as possible, because I think that I'm all about passive income now. Like
Oh,
I want to
absolutely.
retire,
Absolutely.
even though I thought I was already retiring maybe
Right.
this year. But you know, I need to bring more money in.
Right.
So
That's
I'm
always
like,
a good idea.
so I need more money. So I don't want to give up on this YouTube passive income idea that I have. So I
Mhm.
have to go full force in the next till the end of the year, because
Right.
I want to get to 1,000.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
now I'm at 488 subscribers.
Okay, that's great.
So
Okay.
I'm halfway there, almost halfway there. So,
Right, right.
and I started full force starting these podcasts in February. So it's possible.
Oh, I think it's definitely possible.
It's possible. I've like, if I can get to 1,000 by the end of the year, that would be awesome. So at least I've hit off another notch of the guidelines for the monetization. And then afterwards I need I think 4,000 watch hours. So we
Okay.
need people to like click it, but then watch the entire video, you know. So
Right, right. So if we do something like that together, like how is it gonna work? Are we gonna do like a new YouTube channel, or just piggyback your, from
we
yours?
gotta just piggyback on you. We can do the videos, we can put it on mine and you put it on yours, and then
Right, okay, got it.
cross I don't know what's the
Yeah,
word, pollinate, cross advertise, you know.
right.
So
Yeah.
because we just keep doing it, be like, you know, Cecilia with Artandhustle, Cecilia with Linda, whatever it is, and we
Right,
do
right, right.
different things. And some
Wow.
things we're just gonna have to do some crazy things, because we need to figure out, like what I figured out in these research is people always want to find out, like there's a problem, right?
Okay.
Oh, here's a problem. And then they have to stay to the end to figure out if we fix that problem or we
Right.
solve that problem. So like it's always has to be some sort of like something, you know, like there's a guy called Mr. Beast on
Okay.
YouTube, and he's get millions and millions and millions and millions of money and views. And so he does the stupidest things sometimes, like, can I drive through this drive-through 1,000 times in one day before the sun goes down? And if I don't, I have to work in the restaurant. So there's like a challenge, and then there's like, can I do it? Can I succeed? And there's a consequence if I don't. And then people have to watch the entire video to find out
So
the
he
answer.
literally actually
Yes,
went 1,000 times.
yes. Like he'll do the stupidest things and they're always challenges. And you're like, what? That sounds crazy. Let me watch and see if it actually happens. Like it's like, yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I
I
mean, we're
mean,
not
those
going
are,
to do that,
we're
but
not
you
doing that, but I'm saying
know.
like we have to figure out how to get those people in. But reviews is like one thing I think that will help, because
Yeah.
people always want to know if the expensive one is good as the drugstore versions of them, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a good way to fish people in, right?
Like reviews, this or that, and then they see the products, and then eventually you get like sponsorships from like these products that we like feature or something like that. That
Okay.
works too.
Okay. No, let's definitely do it.
And then you can
Um,
do like wine reviews.
yes, absolutely. Wine reviews. I think we love that.
Yeah, like okay, so we're drinking this today. We're drinking this today. Which one is better? You know, wine reviews, makeup reviews. We
You
should maybe.
know, so I don't think I told any of you girls this, but I actually became a sommelier. It was like, was it a year
What?
and a half ago?
What?
Yeah, a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago. I started taking classes
Hmm.
in city.
Mm,
I did. I'm actually in the middle of my level 3 right now. I
really?
did. I passed level 2,
Hmm.
and then you pass level 2, you become a sommelier.
Hmm.
Level 3 is advanced.
Hmm.
So yeah,
How many
yeah.
levels are there?
There's 4, but I'm not gonna do level 4. Level 4
Okay.
is the hardest, and it's like
Really?
the hardest. Yeah.
Well, you see, this is what we can add into the podcast, because this is something I didn't know about you, or
Yeah.
maybe you did tell me. I forgot because I have bad memory, but I don't think I remember.
And I didn't say anything to anyone because it's
See?
just like, I mean, it was just I think it's too, it was just so random.
Oh, but we
Yeah.
love it. I love that randomness. And I love that now I found out something new about you, right? What else do I not know about you, Cecilia?
And then I'm actually also in the process of doing an Airbnb as well
Ooh, awesome.
with my brother.
Okay.
So we're gonna talk this weekend, and let's see how it goes with the meeting and everything. And
Mhm.
if everything goes well, then yeah, we're gonna
That's
start.
that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
See, passive.
Everything is passive income. Yes, yes. I mean, that's the way to go.
That's my
And
goal. My goal is passive income. Because then
so
so then I can have like more like quality of time with the kids, you know? I mean,
yeah, you
that's
have
what
more
I love too.
freedom, right? But so right now you're doing art and hustle, and then you're
Mhm.
like, how's your Airbnb doing?
Airbnb is great.
Yeah.
It's great. That is what's paying for part of my mortgage.
Okay.
And then I was doing some freelance.
Okay.
The freelance ended, so now I just got another small project yesterday. But like
Okay.
besides Airbnb, like I don't have any other main income that's like steady.
Right.
So that's stressing me out.
Well, so are you booking your Airbnb like literally every day?
It's almost every day.
Wow. I think that, oh my God,
Yeah, it's
that's
almost every day.
amazing.
And so like I clean it, so I had to make sure I follow a schedule. So like I can't even get a full-time job anywhere. Not that I want to,
Right.
because I want to keep this Airbnb. And so I clean it myself, because it's really hard to find somebody cheap to like clean it. So,
It is. Yeah.
you know, and so I clean it myself. So that's it. So that, and then like any sort of freelance work I can find is where my income comes.
Right.
And I'm just continuing this YouTube thing, because eventually once you get monetized, you can have advertisements on it, and people get paid a shitload of money to advertise on your page. And then the other thing that I keep hearing is like affiliate marketing. So like
Yes.
if
Hmm.
we do reviews, then eventually we can find brands that we can affiliate market with.
Yes.
And the other thing I also researched and found out is about, so since you do skincare, if you had a blog or on your website and you had a blogs, and then you started tagging affiliate markets on your blog,
Okay.
and you can eventually make money off theirs, because people always researching online of like, you know, how to get rid of a pimple, and then they'll read something, and then they'll see a
Yeah.
product link, and they'll see that link, and it'll be attached to Amazon, and then they'll
Yeah.
buy it. So
Well,
that's,
Amazon has affiliate marketing as well.
yeah, yeah.
So if
I just
you
don't know if I'm like that popular yet to be able to be accepted into it yet.
No, 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 no. So basically, what you can do is, you like just go on Amazon, right?
Mhm, mhm,
And you can actually just sign up to be one,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
And what you can do is, so let's say you recommend a product,
Yeah.
and you have a blog, right? If
Mhm.
you have enough, obviously people go into your blog, you can actually use that Amazon link,
Yeah.
and they click on it. If they buy the product, you get a percentage.
Yeah, that's what I want to do to
You,
also.
so you can do that. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. It
Oh, it
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter like your amount of like, you know how some places like affiliate marketing, you need to be like, you have to have like somebody who's really popular and have all these followers and all of that stuff.
Yeah, no, there's no, I mean, there's no criteria. There's like nothing
Have
like
you
that.
done it?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Oh,
So
okay.
I signed up for it,
Yeah,
and I link it to my blog and things like that.
that's great. So have you
Yeah.
gotten money from these links?
Well, I actually just started like
Oh,
maybe a month ago. I signed up for the affiliate, right?
okay.
So now anytime I recommend something, I can just use that link, post it on the blog, and then they can
Yeah,
just click on it.
that's perfect. That's
You can
perfect.
do that.
So that's exactly one of the things that I want to start as well, is
Right.
to do the affiliate marketing and then do like some sort of blog of like, even from our conversations, then we were like, oh yeah, check out our blog for these products.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's
Exactly.
there. So like if we, shared a blog or something like that,
Right.
so then it's easier. Or whatever you put in your blog, I'll just put into my blog. So then they're
Right.
both there. And then we can have our links there.
And
And then,
you're going to need a blog because when you recommend products, people are not going to remember what you say, right? So you
no,
need
not
to
at
have
all.
it written down.
Yeah, exactly. Or we'll put in the description of like, just go down to our, description. We'll have all the links there. And then the people can click the links of whatever we talked about too.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's so many, possibilities,
Yeah, let's get
it,
on it.
it's about just building that,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
step by step.
Yeah, you have to build it somewhere. And like that's what I tell people too, is like just to start. Like even though like my son will say sometimes like, oh, it's so hard to get monetized. I'm like, well, yeah, everything in life is hard. You got to start from zero, like a baby can't walk from day one. Like,
Yeah.
can you imagine how many times a baby's got to fall, got to build muscles, like do all this? Like, you can't just walk and get to wherever you want to go. You got to take steps. You got to take, you got to build it from zero. So,
Absolutely.
from 0 subscribers to now I'm at 488. So
I think that's
it's getting
great.
there,
It's
you
getting
know?
there. It's not, I mean, it takes time,
And
but
it takes a lot of time and a lot of energy, because these videos editing takes a long time.
it's like a full-time job.
It really is. It really is. To edit these videos takes a lot of hours. And then you have to change the format for shorts afterwards. Because then you're like, you can't use this horizontal. You have to change it to, the other way. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
take time for that too.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's good. Okay. So let's get on and let's
Yeah.
really, because like I said, I bought like a bunch of like
Yeah.
drugstore makeup and things like that I've been wanting to review. And I even bought this thing for TikTok, which I've been
Yeah.
using. I really like this thing. So it
Yeah.
holds me.
On your
Because I
phone,
remember
right?
before I was like holding the phone like this.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So yes, I just bought that. And then
Yeah.
I bought like a bunch of makeup from different brands, and it's time to review them.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's review. Wine and review. That's exact. Well, now that you're, you're, how do you say it? Sommelier?
yeah.
Sommelier?
Molly.
Sommelier. So
Yeah,
there we go. We got that. And we got makeup, wine, and reviews.
that's
Cecilia
all.
Wong and Artandhustle. It's all about the collabs.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so let me know, like like how we can start, what
I can start it
information.
as soon as possible. I have no money, so I'm ready to start and get this page going.
Okay. And
So,
then what I can do is I'll text you some
yeah, let's pick a
ideas.
date. Like I don't have anything going on. I have no life. So my
You
new
have no life.
I have no life. I have, you know.
Doing this podcast. I think this podcast is great.
Thank
And
you. Thank
you're
you.
like a really good, really good host. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
thank you.
questions, like, but just everything just really, like, presented really well, which is
Thank
great.
you. I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, just sorry it took so long.
No,
I'm like, I'm
right.
like,
Wait, it took
I'm
months, right? I'm
I,
like, where is Cecilia? Is she gonna do this with me?
no, I've been thinking about it, but I'm just like, like I just get really shy, I don't know why.
Look at me. We both don't talk.
I know.
I mean, I think it's hysterical that I'm doing podcasts because I don't like to talk.
Yeah.
I don't even like to talk on the phone.
Yeah. Yep. I know what you
Like,
mean.
I am the worst at answering phone calls. I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. No, can you just text me? Like, I don't. So like I always tell people, even on these podcasts, like I don't like to talk to people. So to me, it's hysterical that I forced myself to do podcasts.
Yeah. But sometimes you find out something about yourself that you didn't know before, that you
Yeah.
thought you were before,
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
actually
So
good
like
at it.
since Dave forced me to do these, well, he didn't force me, but he highly suggested I do these since I couldn't do the Art Hustle art shows anymore. And he was like, you've met so many people and you've connected with so many people on these art shows. You should really, just because I had this vision of the original vision was a Netflix documentary about Art and Hustle and how I started it. And then all of these people that I've met, because there's such eclectic personalities and their talents are so different and beautiful to me
Yeah.
that I just love people's stories and hustles. So that's
Right.
why the original idea was like, I really eventually want to do a Netflix thing. So then his thing was like, well, just do a podcast now and do what you can now, which is Zooms and podcasts. So I was like, oh my God, it's gonna be hard.
I
Because I thought I would do it with him. So then that would alleviate me being as like scared and less nervous. I thought I would do it with him, but he just pushed me over the edge and was like, no, this is your baby. This is your vision. You're the
Right.
connection to all these people. So you should do it, yourself. And I'm glad
And
he
you
did because this format works really well. Okay. Well,
Right.
thank you for joining me, Cecilia. And it was a pleasure to talk with you today on the Art and Hustle Gallery.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Succeed in those aspects of our lives that everybody else is doing. You know what I mean? Like you want to be successful, you want to have a career, you want to be making good money, you want to have a house. Like those are all things that everybody does. And you're like, well, I have to do those things also, And unconsciously, I just start ignoring parts of myself that I never really was like taught to make sure I do things for myself.
Yeah. Or put those needs as priority.
Yeah, like those were never things that I was taught to make sure that I'm happy, I'm fulfilled, I do things for myself, I take care of it. Like those things were never things that I was taught. So for me, I just ignored myself.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Like you just ignore it. Like I don't need that.
I think it's a generation,
It
how we
is.
grew up, like our
It
mother. I mean, I'm sure their needs were met. Right?
Never. No, their needs were not even, well, they're non-existent.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we grow up to be feeling, and it's also generational because you inherit those genes. And so we inherit those genes to ignore ourselves as women. And those, and then at age 40, you have a midlife crisis and you dye your hair blonde.
I wish I could dye my hair blonde. I can't. My hair's too black.
Yeah. It's really hard to go all the way blonde.
But for you, you always had different color.
I did. I did.
Not like your hair was black.